Hey, this is Ralph, and in this video, I want to demonstrate the 4% rule when you're planning a retirement account balance. So, I was just reading this past week in a pretty inspiring article about a couple that retired way back in 1991, and they were 38 years old at the time, and they'd only saved up I think a little over 500 grand. And the article, did a little interview with them, and they relied on the 4% rule, which has been relatively popular for the past 20 years. And there's some people that think that's a little bit too risky. Maybe there should be a 3% rule. But let's figure out what this 4% rule is. So I have an Excel spreadsheet set up with a place to plug in expenses. And by the way, the other good thing that this couple did is they thought about this for 2 years in advance of retiring. So they crunched the numbers and they tried to pick holes in the plan to see what was going on. And figuring out your expenses post-retirement is a really big part to feeling confident or feeling scared. So it doesn't really matter what we put in here for now because that's going to be different for everybody. But I'm just going to go ahead and throw in some numbers. And then we'll just leave it at that, and we could figure out some other stuff. Now, for my monthly total, let me go ahead and sum those up. So I'm just going to do Alt equals, looks good. And I do want to get an annual total for this. So basically, I'm going to take my monthly total, multiply that by 12 just to get my annual total there. Let's go ahead and format these as, hey, let's just do currency. That looks pretty good. No need to show the decimals, though. Okay, so based on my really quick numbers, I'm going to need 27 to 30 grand in order to maintain expenses and stuff like that. I know you're thinking, hey, you left out a lot. You left out some taxes. You left out this. You left out that. You're right. I did leave all those things out. But if we write our Excel sheet well, we can work on it month by month for a year or more to make sure that it's accurate and we get all of those things. And then we'll have a really good number. But if we do our formulas well, then it's easy to adapt it later so that it's more accurate. Okay, so about 27 to 30K per year is what I need. So now let's put in a pretend account balance or retirement fund. And I'll just push this off to the side here. And like the couple in the article, let's pretend we have 500,000. And I'm going to go ahead and format that in the same way. So I'll just use a format painter up there. Need to get plenty of space for it. Okay, so $500,000. What would be the monthly return from this, or basically the safe monthly? The monthly draw, and we'll assume that 4% rule, that 4% scenario. So I'm going to write a formula up here that'll help us calculate that. And that's going to be equal to our fund amount times 0.04, which is 4%. And then I want to take that and divide it by 12 to see what 1 month of that value might be. And you see I get to 1666. So let's go ahead and format this in the same way. In fact, I'll do that, and there we go. So you can see that if I follow the 4% rule, my monthly draw is smaller than my monthly requirement, okay? So in my scenario, this just isn't going to be enough. Now, of course, there's other factors. It could be when you're in retirement, you're doing some kind of supplemental income, which isn't being factored in. You could do that. You could factor in some supplemental income, but based on my data, it's not quite enough. So the question is, how much using this very simple 4% rule would be enough? And for that, I'm going to use a goal seek. So under the data ribbon, I'm going to look for the what if analysis over towards the right, and then I'm going to choose goal seek. Now I didn't select myself first, and that's okay. But basically what I want to do is I want to set my monthly draw cell. So I'm just clicking on that, and I know those are tough to see, but I'm setting my monthly draw cell to a specific value. Now I could actually click on this, but I think I'll just type it in. My monthly draw is like $22.50. I'm going to say, what if I want $2,300? By changing the retirement fund value. So I'm going to click on the cell that contains my retirement fund, and then I'll click OK. Excel's going to do a bunch of math. It's going to do higher, lower to find the right number. I'm going to click OK to accept it. And basically it's telling me that I need $690,000 in my retirement fund if I want to safely draw 4% of it a year. That's the goal I would have if I'm following, if I feel like my expenses are accurate and I feel like the 4% rule is safe and smart for me. So there you go. Go ahead and calculate what you think your monthly expenses are going to be in retirement. Try to be accurate. Take some time to think about it. Figure out what your annual total is going to be. Plug in a retirement fund and then do that goal seek to find out what exact retirement fund you need in order for the 4% draw monthly to meet or exceed your expected monthly expenses. Thanks for hanging out with me.